Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, episode number 2. So today I'd like to talk about the top 3 things that should concern you, or top 3 things that you should place in your life above money. Now, I'm not going to be arrogant or ignorant and say that money isn't important. Of course it is. However, the main reason, the main motivation behind starting this channel is there's one thing I've learned in this life, and that is money is just a tool, right? Money gets you some items. Yes, you can have some purchasing power, you're able to buy some materialistic things, but money doesn't change who you are on the inside. The inside is composed of multiple different things, whether it's your beliefs, whether it's your politics. Money just makes you more of what you already are, right? If you're a jerk and you get more money, guess what? You're going to be the biggest jerk this side of the East Coast, right? But if you're a humble human being, if you're generous and you get more money, then you're going to do a lot of good, hopefully, with that money. One disclaimer I did want to state before we get into it is by no means is this any legal or financial advice that I'm giving. Rather, these are just some things that I've learned in my life and some of the experiences that I can speak to. I graduated college in 2019, and ever since getting into the real world, I've learned that money, while helpful in life and it helps you buy and procure items and materials, it shouldn't be the end all be all of this life. But we as humans, we as a society, put a lot of emphasis on it, and sometimes people worship it more than things that are way more, that should be way more important. And today I want to talk about that. I want to get into a little bit of the philosophy and the things that I've learned in the last 7 years since leaving college. With that, we can get started. So get my fancy Walmart whiteboard out here. So top three things that we should be more concerned with than money. If I'm being real with you guys, money shouldn't even be in your top 10. There's much more to this life and this world, and it shouldn't even be in your top 10. It shouldn't even come close. Money should be maybe your top 50, but certainly not your top 10. It helps when you're fiscally responsible. It helps when you make smart financial decisions. But no matter what life is throwing at you guys, no matter what hand you've been dealt with, these 3 things should come before that. And the first one is your health. So why your health? Well, think of it, guys. Once your health goes, once your body goes, none of this matters. None of this life matters anymore. You're dead, or you're in bad health, or you're in such bad health that your medical bills go up and you need more money to survive. If money was already a tight issue before, guess what? If you don't take care of yourself, if your health goes, you're not going to be around for much longer. As a matter of fact, your life just got more expensive because now you've got higher medical bills, you've got higher premiums, you have more coverages that you wouldn't have had if you took good care of yourself. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant and say people don't go through battles and trials and health issues. Of course we all do. But if you don't take good care of yourself, if you don't at least try, and you should not put money above your health. And what I really want to touch on with this point is this. How many times do we see someone that shouldn't be eating fast food, right? It's almost as if, and I know there's definitely some articles and research out there on this, that the food that isn't the healthiest for you and that you shouldn't be eating is also the cheapest, right? But if money is already tight as it is, how often do we turn to the cheap and easy solution, like McDonald's? Probably more often than we like to admit, right? So if you don't take care of yourself, you're finding yourself in this cycle of eating poorly and you're fiscally strapped. It's just going to spiral, right? You should be putting your health number 1 on your list, because once you go, that's it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how much you were making, doesn't matter how much you were struggling. You are dead, or you are in very bad health, and it's just going to get worse from there. So your health should be your number 1 priority. Your second in this life that should definitely come before money, and I'm going to use a different color for this, it's your family. Right? It's the people that matter the most to you, the ones that will have your back, the ones that could give you their kidney if you needed it, that could give you some money if you needed it. Now, I understand some family situations are very complicated, right? So let's not say family, just family. Let's say your closest friends. Yes, I am writing this down, but I won't show the whiteboard again. Your friends, your significant other. There's plenty of people that should be more valuable to you than money. If you put money as more important than any of those two items, you need to reevaluate yourself in the mirror. You need to reevaluate what it is that matters to you. Money, of course, money, you could argue money ties to all of these things. Little dollar sign as well. Yes, money could tie to all these things that I'm about to list, but at the end of the day, does money play a background role? Sure. But if your family and your friends are not as valuable as money on your goal of importance, what's the point, right? What's the point? Let's get to the last piece, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, the top three. The last thing that I think should matter more than money is your legacy. The legacy you leave behind. If you have kids, what are you leaving them when you go? What are you giving them? What are you leaving behind? Is it a penny? Is it a fortune? What is it? How are people going to remember you by? Are they going to remember you as the guy that just kept hustling and grinding and was so anxious about money? Or are they going to remember this person that rose through the adversity, rose through the trials, and came out on top? How is this world going to remember you by, and what are you leaving behind? If you're worshiping money, guess what? All people are going to remember you as is Mr. Krabs for the rest of your life, for the rest of your days, and even when you do go, they'll remember you as being Mr. Krabs. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Because this life, these are the three things that should matter the most to you. Your health, your family or your closest associates, the people that you care about that would have your back in a heartbeat, and the legacy you leave behind. Because at the end of the day, that's all we have in this life. And money comes and goes out of our life. But this is why it's so important to be fiscally responsible, because here, I'll show the diagram. Money plays a role in all three of these factors. It certainly does, whether we'd like to admit it or not. However, it's up to us to be fiscally responsible. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say people don't get dealt a shitty hand. Of course, we all do sometimes. And some people have to go through more trials and errors and heartache than others do. It's just the reality. But hey, if I can get out of 6 figures worth of debt, if I can turn that around and become a landlord and own a house at 27 in this economy, and go from a job paying me as low as 30 to a new career that is, I can say, a lot better than anybody can. So I hope this video was helpful, at least giving you at least some perspective on where we're coming from with all this. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.